The Yorkshire Coastcast with Paddy. The people, the places. This is The Coast.
Hello and welcome to episode 31. This is Paddy, Billington. Coming up in this episode, the Brownlee Brothers are heading to Dalby Forest this weekend for the British Gravel Championships. That and more on episode 31.
The Yorkshire Coastcast with Paddy.
This is The Coast.
Also, we'll be finding out about the huge success of the Goldwing Light Parade and firework display in Scarborough on Saturday night just gone. And we'll hear from local farmer Mike Shardlow. He's from Beacon Farm just outside Whitby, one of the many farmers who've been battling the Langdale Moor Fire in recent weeks, along with other farmers, contractors, firefighters. They've done an amazing job. Now, Mike gives us the untold stories, some incredible stories from the last few weeks, including real stories of heroism, helping to save lives, property, communities. And that is taken from something new from This Is The Coast, our first deep dive video, which you can find at thisisthecoast.co.uk and on the This Is The Coast YouTube channel. So first, we'll start with what was a great night in Scarborough on Saturday night for the latest Goldwing Light Parade and fireworks display. Here's the moment that we did the countdown, and Rover Reporter, our mascot dog, set off at just under 100 Goldwing bikes, all illuminated as they zipped around Scarborough seafront.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off! Rover is waving the checkered flag. And off they go. Wow! Hundreds of bikes, all lit up, heading along the seafront. It's the Goldwing Light Parade. It's a massive fundraiser for Yorkshire Air Ambulance tonight as well. And off they go, looking absolutely incredible.
So that was the Goldwing setting off. Then we had the firework display. That'll do for that, because it is a podcast after all. You can't see much on a podcast. Now, between the Goldwing Light Parade and the fireworks display, I caught up with Rob Scott, the regional fundraiser for Yorkshire Air Ambulance, to talk about the night and what a big success it had proven to be once again. So another fantastic Goldwing Light Parade.
Absolutely amazing again. The turnout's been phenomenal. Our Danielle went actually on the parade this year for the first time, and she cannot believe how many people are out here watching it from the one side of Scarborough to the other, just packed.
Yeah, well, that's it, because it's absolutely heaving down here, but we stay close to the roadshow stage opposite the Lord Nelson, and it's just a sea of people. But, you just imagine what it's like. So big crowds in North Bay too. Yeah, absolutely heaving up the north side. I mean, I've been in this car park since 7 o'clock this morning, so you don't actually see how many people are here. And Danielle's come back and she said, Dad, they said there's just thousands of them. So amazing. Absolutely amazing. We've just wandered up onto the balcony there near to the lookout and looking down on all the bikes and hundreds of people just checking them out, talking to the owners of these amazing vehicles, and then seeing the South Bay lit up behind with a big wheel all illuminated and all the people waiting for the fireworks. It's a very special night in the calendar in Scarborough, isn't it?
I think it's one of the biggest nights in Scarborough, and a massive thank you to North Yorkshire Council for carrying it on. You know, there was a bit of a thing whether it was going to carry on at one point, but I'm so glad they have, and the amazing job that they do with all the security, and because they take over the event from 6 o'clock, and without them it just wouldn't be able to go ahead with all the road closures and what have you. So massive shout out to North Yorkshire Council.
And every year we wonder whether the West Pier will be accessible. Sooner or later there will be work done here, but if that is the case and it happens to coincide with Goldwings, I'm sure another way will be found to make it happen.
I mean, we have got some irons in the fire. People have come forward with venues, still on so we can still use the seafront, but where the bikes would be parked might be a little bit different when they start the work down here, which will happen at some point, won't it? It's bound to happen.
And thousands is raised every year from this event, isn't it? And you were telling me when I caught up with you in Pickering how much you think has probably been raised by this event over the years for the Yorkshire Air Ambulance.
Well, I think we've had it 6-7 years now. We will be £70,000-80,000 plus from this event. Yeah. It was a phenomenal amount of money. I mean, the Goldwingers themselves, if it weren't for them, there wouldn't be an event. And they travel from all over the UK and even further, Sawdon and all sorts, just to come and ride at this. It's amazing.
Well done. Put your feet up in a bit, yeah?
It'll probably be about midnight by the time I get home. I've been here since 7 this morning.
All right, well done. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, Paddy.
The Yorkshire Coastcast with Paddy. This is The Coast.
And you're listening to episode 31 of the Yorkshire Coastcast, all about life here on the Yorkshire coast. And this weekend, the famous Brownlee Brothers will be riding their bikes in Dalby Forest. It's all part of the British Gravel Championships, and it's the first time this very prestigious event has happened in Dalby Forest. And not only is there an elite event on the Sunday, the stuff happening throughout the weekend, it's more of a festival really, and there's even a chance for people to ride themselves in the Sundowner charity ride. Let's speak to Maximilian Wussler, co-founder of Red On Sports, which is organiser of the British Gravel Championships. So tell us all about this event this weekend in Dalby Forest.
Sure thing, absolutely. So yeah, we're in Dalby Forest from the 12th to the 14th of September. It's the first time the British Gravel Championships are in this part of the country, so it's quite exciting for us as well. Obviously, a venue sort of steeped in cycling history, and so some really exciting events, and sort of to be part of that storyline now it's really great. It's a fantastic venue. You know, we've got riders who are very excited about racing here for the first time, and really bringing gravel and gravel cycling into a venue which is obviously more well known for mountain biking, but offers fantastic gravel trails as well. So the event itself kicks off Friday and then runs for 3 days. On the Friday, we've got the gravel time trial, the inaugural event there. Saturday is all about masters racing, so that's age groups from the youngest junior category, 16 to 18-year-olds, all the way to 80 pluses will be racing for national championships in their age groups. And then Sunday is all about the elite racing. So the men's and women's elite national championships will take place here and crown the very best gravel racers in the country.
I noticed one of the Brownlee Brothers is going to be involved as well, a Yorkshire sporting icon. Great news for spectators. In
fact, both Brownlee Brothers are currently on the start list. So both Johnny and Alistair. Alistair's been a regular at our events and Red On Sports events across the country for a number of years now. Really excited about gravel and sort of what we're doing. And Johnny joined us last year for the British Gravel Championships when they were up in Scotland. So, you know, we're really excited to have them both. Fantastic individuals, great racers, you know, really incredibly competitive. And you know, should be fantastic for spectators as well to come out and enjoy them racing.
So with it being in Dalby Forest for the first time, how has it been putting together a route for the championships then? Talk us through the process of creating something special in Dalby Forest for this weekend for the riders and the spectators.
It's a bit of a challenge, you know, when you're doing something new for the first time. Even though we've done this event for a number of years now, the new venues always bring different challenges, different hurdles to overcome. So, you know, been scoping out locations for the last few years across the country. And then when we shifted focus to planning this event about 14 months ago now, we started with early recce's in the area here, brought our extended team, our route designers out here, scoped out what the venue has to offer, worked closely with Forestry England here, the National Park, and local liaisons, because, you know, no one knows this area better than the people who ride it on a daily basis. So working closely with them, and then fine-tuning a route. But with the British Gravel Championships, we run this event on a lap basis. So racing is across 4 laps to make it as spectator-friendly and as exciting as possible. And therefore, so, you know, designing a very exciting, interesting lap that sort of, you know, guarantees good racing, but also good viewing opportunities, and making it manageable from a logistics point of view was key. So we found that here, right in the heart. It's all fully contained within Dalby Forest. It's, you know, a mixture of the rigs and then dropping down to the dales, coming back out of those. So it's four key climbs per lap, about 500 meters of climbing. And across the 4 laps, you're looking at about 113 kilometers of racing. So it's going to be a tough all day out for everyone on the bikes.
Yeah. And how impressed have you been with what Dalby Forest has to offer? Does it pretty much tick all the boxes for you?
I mean, so far it certainly does. You know, and that's always the important thing for us to see for future editions to look to come back here. We've been setting up here since Sunday on Adderson Field in Dalby Forest. The sun's been out so far. You know, hoping the weather is on our side for the weekend as well. But it's certainly looking like a great venue so far. What we do with our events are always looking to design them as more festivals than just races. So there's, there's a large expo, there's demo cycling opportunities, there's food vendors here all weekend, and the event village is free to access for any spectators. There's live music on Saturday night as well. And then we've also got a Sundowner charity ride. My co-founder, he was recently diagnosed with prostate cancer and is missing this event for his surgery. And so it prompted us as well to start up this charity initiative in aid of Prostate Cancer UK. And so the Sundowner charity ride is open to attend, and the entry fee go towards Prostate Cancer UK. You're
breaking up a little bit, but we got the gist of that. Yeah. So it sounds great value, doesn't it, for spectators to watch the action? Something a bit different. What is so special about the gravel championships and this particular type of racing? Finally, what makes this such a great sport for spectators to watch in particular? I think what makes it really exciting is the opportunity to really sort of live and breathe it here at this venue. Typically with gravel races, you have your start and finish in a town, but then you'll be out there in the middle of nowhere for the best part of 100 kilometers. But with the lap-based design we've got with this event, there's really an opportunity to see racers pass numerous times. So even if you're supporting like a friend or family member on the Saturday, you've got full opportunity to sort of see them in action. And then the elite racers, that's a fantastic thing about gravel. We talked about the Brownlee Brothers, but there's heaps of world tour riders, really top cyclists who are now finding their way into gravel, and they're all coming together this weekend. So it adds to the spectacle for spectators. All right. If people do want to find out more information, then where can people go? That's BritishGravelChampionships.com. And you can add /festival to that to find all the spectator information, free access tickets on there, and parking is available right next to the event village. So you just drive into Dalby Forest, follow the signage, and there's something on from Friday midday all the way through till Sunday. Like I said, live music Saturday evening, elite races Sunday. So keen to have as many of you come out and support and get involved, and love to have you all here. Yeah, and if it's a success, hopefully you'll come back. Absolutely. That is always the ambition, and so far, no reason to not come back.
The Yorkshire Coastcast, loving life in Yorkshire. The people, the places. This is The Coast.
Sounds great, doesn't it, that event at Dalby Forest this weekend? And welcome to the Yorkshire Coast, the legendary Brownlee Brothers as well. Fantastic, that. And, it sounds great with lots going on. It's helping to put Dalby Forest on the national and hopefully in the not too distant future international map as well. Hope it's a really big success, that event this weekend. Right, next up, I have been shown around some of the damage on the moorland from the Langdale Moor Fire from one of those people who've been at the heart of tackling the fire. This is Mike Shardlow from Beacon Farm. In something new for This Is The Coast, a deep dive video, which you can see on the This Is The Coast YouTube channel and also on our news pages at thisisthecoast.co.uk. Here's a clip from the video, Mike sort of talking through how the fire spread from Langdale End all the way to near Sneaton, just outside Whitby.
One of the priorities was to protect the mine, because in that, just through those trees, there's a big gas plant. So we have a fire break all the way down there. But the problem now is the fire's got into the fire break where the bulldozer and the fire's live in the bottom of those. So we're levelling it all out. So I've got that. We're levelling it all out and have tankers with me. So all the time you'll see fires around this area. And we're heading out towards Robin Hood's Bay now.
It's amazing to see how many miles of fire breaks there are. It's just mile upon mile of fire breaks, and these are huge sort of trenches and walls of earth that have just been built up. I mean, that process behind that is amazing, how much effort's gone into them.
Oh yeah, and a lot of this side was done by Collins Earthworks, and unfortunately Dave Collins died just before the fire, otherwise I know he would have been sat on a dozer pushing all this aside. But there was Kane who did a tremendous job down here, and I'll be honest, if it weren't for those dozers and Tankerman and everything, this fire would have probably gone right down to the viaduct at Russell and Horsecote and Stainsacre.
What's amazing to see though as well is that it's just crossing this small little area here, and then it has run all the way along that fence for ages, and then it's spread out
rather than going in there. It must have been the wind direction.
It's amazing though, isn't it, that lives haven't been lost and property hasn't been destroyed. It's managed to be contained despite the sheer scale of it. It goes for mile upon mile, does it, all the way to Lillicross and beyond.
Fortunately, there had been one property lost, one tractor lost, there was one injury, somebody fell out of his tractor cab. And I think that, there's been one or two close do's. Somebody was telling the story, one of the tractors got a bit close to the fire and melted the plastic bung in the bottom of the fuel filter, but luckily had another one. There was another tractor on fire up here. It came from harvest time, it just had straw and things underneath, but no major damage. Laughable stories, really. But some of these lads have been up here, especially Chris Ford, for weeks. Chris Ford, I know for a fact, on Saturday night never had any sleep, because he went to Slights for fish and chips at 9 o'clock and got called back out at 10 o'clock. And I called him again at 6:30 and he's never been to bed. So there's been tremendous effort by the fire services that we've been working with. A lot of the rural fire services down there with the four-wheel drive engines. Danby in particular, I worked the first night with, and they worked the little socks off. And one of the lads, they're supposed to pull out at 4 o'clock in the morning, and one of the lads was going straight to work. They didn't actually get relieved till 5, and he literally went straight to work. And then they were back out the next night again. But those retained firefighters all have full-time jobs, all farms. And we've had Reeth, Laban, all these little fires, people up here. Some of them travelling up to 3.5 hours to get, and then do a full shift when they get here. I would hate to say how many tankers were running at the peak, between 20 and 30, I believe, farmers' tankers. And we're actually having a tractor road run running through the NFU, and all the farmers and helpers, and I think some of the fire services are going to do a procession, and hopefully the Forest are going to let us run from Maybex to Langdale End. If they don't, there'll be hell on, I think. And if they want a fee out of it, they'll even be more hell on.
Yeah.
And then back by Howard Day, so we'll actually circle all the devastation. Because a lot of the lads really never saw the total devastation. They don't know what's happened at that end. I'm just looking down now as we talk. It looks like some smoke going up down there.
Right,
yeah.
So you might need to be...
No, the fire services... you can see the fire services sat down there. That's Whitby Crew. From there, they've got a marvellous advantage point, and they can see all this side of the moor. And they know exactly what we're doing. They're in contact with some of the, particular Chris Ford, the tanker drivers, and we were going to call them for their little one, but another little one's in there because it's still alight. Just in the centre of there, it's got right into the peat. I've got some photos where I've just been digging peat out there. It was actually over a foot deep, the fire was. Wow. Yeah.
Mike Shardlow there from Beacon Farm, who continues to work on the Langdale Moor Fire site, as do many others as well. And as he was saying, it could be burning for months into the winter, possibly as well. So it's going to need a lot more attention in the coming days and months. And as we speak, the 30-mile-an-hour speed limits are still in place on the A171 between Whitby and Scarborough on the top of the moors, and also on the B1416 from Russup to the A171 junction.
The Yorkshire Coastcast with Paddy. This is The Coast.
Now, next week, there are free meditation sessions happening in a rather rural village hall. This is Sawdon Village Hall, just off the A170. I've been speaking to the organiser of these free sessions, Esther Hall.
Yeah, so my name's Esther Hall, and I have a company called We Evolve. And I'm working with two other people, Jim French and Sarah Jane Cooper. So we work in kind of all things a bit alternative and slightly spiritual, but just looking for some soul food.
So tell us what you've got happening in the coming days and weeks.
So we start this Monday the 15th, and every day that week, Monday to Friday, I'm holding half an hour meditation session. So that's live at Sawdon Village Hall for the early birds that would like to come and have that quiet time. But also it's available online, so people from anywhere can just join in and just have that half an hour, and I'm guiding channeled meditation. So, coming straight through from source. And so that's every day. And then we've got Jim, who's running an online past life regression session on Monday evening, 7 till 8. Tuesday, I'm doing a singing sound frequencies with Jim on crystal singing bowls and a little gong. So it's like a meditation, and people will kind of lie down and receive the musical tones of this that will open them into a deeper place. So that's an hour on Tuesday. Wednesday evening, Sarah Jane is running an online Kundalini yoga class, so people can join in with that and some gentle movement in their own home. Thursday, we're having a breather, just my early morning meditation on Thursday. But then Friday, I'm running Finding the Sound Inside workshop. So this will be where people come together and we start to explore the role of sound that is inside of us, that kind of we can express bits of ourselves through sound that maybe words don't quite capture. And so this is just exploring a bit more of our insides. Saturday, there's no morning meditation, but Sarah Jane will be holding a meditation and mantra session, and that's in person at Sawdon Village Hall and online. And then we culminate on Sunday with a whole afternoon between 1 and 4, where I'll be singing high frequency light code. Jim will have a full sound bath with gongs and chimes and all sorts of things. Sarah Jane will be doing gentle movement, and there'll be teas and coffees, and we're just trying to help people experience some of this stuff that maybe they just haven't had chance to get hold of. It's not that common for it to be available, and this is why we wanted to make it completely free so that anyone can come along.
And you'll have had to book out Sawdon Village Hall for the whole week by the sounds of it.
Correct, yes. But Sawdon Village Hall, they've done great work in trying to regenerate how we use that hall as well. So it's great to be working with the local community to bring that to life again a little bit. It's been quite difficult, I think, for village halls to kind of keep themselves up and running and interesting.
Yeah, well, I've done a kids' disco there before, actually, but it was a little while ago. Yeah, so I have visited it. It's tucked away, isn't it? It's out of the way, but it's a nice little spot there. Great, and so why this big focus then on doing this for free for the week?
Well, what it is we're launching. We've got an online community space. And it's also in person. So we're launching this on Sunday. So what this is people that show an interest or come along to an event or maybe have a session with Jim or Sarah or myself, if they're thinking, I'm having kind of some deeper experiences and I'd like to chat with other people about it, or I'd like to take it further, then we're holding this new space where people can chat together, support each other, find out what else is going on, and take it in different directions according to what people feel like. So ordinarily, with something of this nature, people might go to a meditation session or they might have a sound bath, but there's really nowhere else for them to take that. They kind of just go home and back to their normal life. And so what we're trying to do is encourage people to bring these experiences more into sort of conscious being and to share them and to talk about them and to explore and develop ourselves in a deeper way through these things. So yes, it might just be for fun, but also there's a chance in this platform that we're newly holding for people to come and sit together and support each other. So that's what we're in aid of, really, is to bring people together.
And that was Esther Hall, organiser of these free meditation events happening at Sawdon Village Hall all next week.
The Yorkshire Coastcast, loving life in Yorkshire. The people, the places. This is The Coast.
Let's have a look at some of the events that are on up and down the Yorkshire coast as we head into another weekend and into next week. It's Scarborough Pride this weekend, and a parade will leave the Brunswick Centre, or outside the front of the Brunswick Centre, at 11:30 this Saturday morning, the 13th of September, and then it'll be heading down Newborough and Eastborough and heading along the foreshore in Scarborough and arriving at the Spa at around midday. There'll be music, fun, games and much more in the Grand Hall and Sun Court at Scarborough Spa for that event. Also, we got Top Secret, The Magic of Science at the YMCA in Scarborough at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, fusing the mystery of magic with wondrous and miraculous feats of science. Hang on to your seats and experience a non-stop action-packed, interactive magical science show with experiments. And then in the evening at the YMCA at 7, there is a fundraising showcase for the YMCA, and that is hosted by the Mayoress of Scarborough. Also, ABBA Sensation are at the Kirk Theatre in Pickering at 7:30, a tribute show to the kings and queens of Europop. And this weekend, it is the Whitby Motown and Soul Weekender, which gets underway on Friday. There's loads of music and dancing with live acts and top DJs. On Sunday, the Scarborough Spa Orchestra are back for one final time next week, actually. 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. with the Teddy Bears Picnic on Sunday. And then they're in the Grand Hall as well early next week. And we also have a Motive 8 event, the best of Steve Boat and Jessica Exposito at Scarborough Spa at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. Best-selling author and life coach Steve and Zumba coach Jessica guiding you through a day of inspirational masterclasses and motivation. And in the football this weekend, it is FA Cup action, FA Cup second qualifying round action. It's Ashton United against Scarborough Athletic, 3 o'clock on Saturday. Commentary on This Is the Coast Extra, the Scarborough feed, and also commentary of Hyde United against Whitby Town, also at 3 on Saturday in the FA Cup second qualifying round. That's on This Is the Coast Extra Whitby. And good luck to Pickering Town. Big game for them as they play Runcorn Linnets in the FA Cup second qualifying round. That is actually being shown on the BBC as well. And Bridlington Town play Matlock Town at 3 in the Northern Premier League Division 1 East. And in the rugby, Middlesbrough against Driffield in Regional 1 North East, Scarborough against Moulton and Norton in Regional 2 North East, Halifax against Bridlington in Counties 2 Yorkshire, and Whitby against South Shields in Counties 3 Durham and Northumberland. And also there's cricket too, Welton against Scarborough, Bransburton against Pickering, Lonsborough Park against Bridlington, Carlton Towers against Folkestone and Flixton, and Rockcliffe Park against Whitby. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for listening to episode 31 of the Yorkshire Coastcast. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, and always at thisisthecoast.co.uk/podcasts, and you'll be notified whenever a new episode arrives.
The Yorkshire Coastcast with Paddy.
This is the coast.